I'm with Pepper and Dottie, and we're going to read chapter 2. And who is Michael Jordan? Carolina Blue. Word began to spread about the talented player at Laney High School. The University of North Carolina had one of the best basketball teams in the country. They were interested in having Michael on their team. The coaches at UNC invited Michael to play at their summer camp for high school basketball players. Then they arranged for him to go to another basketball camp in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That included some of the best basketball players in the country. Michael was nervous. He was going to play against other high school kids from all over the United States. He thought of himself as just a small town boy from North Carolina. How could he keep up with them? He kept up with them just fine. The coaches and assistants at the Pittsburgh camp loved the way he ran hard to the basket and the extra kick he made as he jumped. They liked how he listened to the coaches, and they saw how much he wanted to win. By the time the camp was over, Michael's name had jumped to the top of the lists of the best high school players in the country. For Michael, the summer camps were a turning point. Now he was certain he could go up against the best players. A few months earlier, he hadn't been sure if he would make a top college team. Now, some people were saying he might be able to play in the NBA. Michael didn't know what he would do if he couldn't be a basketball player. He even admitted that he was lazy about most everything except for sports. He got B's and C's in high school. He always tried to get out of doing his chores at home. He even quit his summer job at a hotel after only 1 week. His parents worried that he'd never be able to keep a job. In November of his senior year of high school, Michael announced that he was going to accept a scholarship offer from UNC. The school would be paying Michael's tuition. He wanted to play for Coach Dean Smith. 2 local TV stations came to the Jordan's house to broadcast the announcement. What do you think of that, Pepper? What do you think, Peps? Huh? What do you think? She's excited. Now I'm going to read a little blurb about the NBA. Pepper can't wait. The NBA, the National Basketball Association, or the NBA, is a men's professional basketball league that plays in North America. It began in 1946 as the Basketball Association of America, then merged in 1949 with the National Basketball League to form the NBA. Today, there are 30 teams in the NBA, 29 in the United States and 1 in Canada. Teams play 82 games during a season that runs from October through mid-April. Then the playoffs start, and in June, 2 teams play for the NBA championship. Back to our story. Michael arrived at UNC in the fall of 1981. At basketball practice, 18-year-old Michael talked constantly and loudly about how good he was and how he could beat the other players. He seemed like an annoying little brother. Michael's teammates just laughed it off most of the time, but sometimes they wondered how this loud mouth would fit in with college-level basketball and its rules. Carolina basketball had many traditions. Coach Dean Smith was very strict. Clocks at practice kept players moving from one drill to another. The team worked hard to learn a system that highlighted defense and passing the ball. But Michael loved it all. He liked the tightly scheduled practices. He may have talked a lot, but he listened too. Coach Smith's system didn't really show off Michael's athletic talents, but he didn't mind. He wanted to be known as a good defensive player. If the coach wanted him to pass the ball, he would. If the coach wanted him to pass the ball, he would. I just read that. He always felt that his best skill was his willingness to listen and learn. Some things bothered him, though. Sports Illustrated want to put UNC's starting 5 players on its cover that fall before the season started. They wanted to include Michael. Dean Smith said no. He didn't think it was fair to put Michael on the cover when he hadn't even played in one game yet. Smith believed that each team member should wait their turn for a chance in the spotlight. It wasn't Michael's turn yet. Michael was deeply angered by this. He thought he deserved to be a part of the cover photograph, but he never showed how he felt. Instead, he practiced harder. He listened and learned. In 1981-1982 season was about to open. 4 returning players were set in the starting lineup. That left one spot open for Coach Smith to fill. The rest of the team would sit on the bench for most of each game, waiting and hoping for a chance to play. Coach Smith posted the starting lineup right before the first game, and Michael's name was on it. He was set to start and play shooting guard. Even he was shocked. Smith rarely started freshmen, but Michael seemed to be the best fit. Michael wanted to show his coach that he had made the right choice. He scored the first points of that first game, and he continued to score as the season went on. He stuck with Smith's system and passed the ball to players who might be able to get an easier shot, even when he knew he could make the hard ones. He worked on his defense and made sure he was in the right place on the court. He was a team player for sure. In the spring of 1982, the Tar Heels found themselves in the running for a championship. UNC always did well in the tournament, but Dean Smith had never won a championship, and he had been the coach since 1961. Fans were growing impatient. The 1982 championship was held at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans. The Georgetown Hoyas were a powerful team, and the score stayed close throughout the game. But after Michael made his big shot, UNC was the winner, and Michael was a star. Positions on a basketball team. So this is another blurb in the story. Positions on the basketball team. you have a point guard, shooting guard, forward, center, and small forward. So there's the picture. What do you think, Pepper? Huh? There are 5 players from each team on the court during a basketball game. Each player has a position with different responsibilities. The positions have names, but sometimes they are also called by their number. So point guard is a 1. The point guard is responsible for running the offense, the system of scoring. The point guard leads the way in moving the ball down the court to the basket. Point guards are usually fast and excel at passing the ball. Shooting guards is a 2. A shooting guard focuses on scoring. They are often good at making shots from longer distances. A small forward is a 3. The small forward is usually an excellent scorer who can shoot from different distances and who can also contribute to the defense. A power forward is a 4. The power forward focuses on defense and rebounding, grabbing the ball after someone either makes or misses a shot. Power forwards are typically very strong and play close to the basket. A center is a 5. The center is the tallest player on the team. They score down near the basket as well as block the other team from scoring. Back to the story. Pepper's excited. When Michael returned home from Wilmington for the summer, he was constantly surrounded by crowds. When he tried to play ball at the local courts, mobs would gather to watch. It seemed as if someone was always asking him for an autograph. Michael had become a hometown hero. Although Michael hoped to win more championships at UNC, his sophomore and junior teams didn't even make it to the National Collegiate Athletic Association, the NCAA finals. He was deeply disappointed. Michael was named the College Player of the Year in 1984. He also won the John R. Wooden Award and Dr. James Naismith Award, both for Outstanding College Player in 1984. But he really just wanted to win another championship. After his junior season, Dean Smith advised Michael to move on to the NBA. Michael wasn't sure if it was the right thing to do. He still had another year of college to complete. He enjoyed being at UNC and still wanted to try to win another NCAA championship. Michael's mother was also against the idea. She wanted him to stay for his senior year and graduate from college. But finally, Michael decided that Coach Smith was right. He had had a great college career and the NBA had noticed. He was going to be drafted by a pro team and he could always finish his degree later. It was time to go. There's a picture of him and Coach Smith.